Africa is rising, from Bamako to Ouagadougou to Niamey.
The tricolor of France is finally being lowered in Senegal.
A new wave of leaders is cutting ties with France, reclaiming resources, and declaring that Africa will never bow again. These nations, proud, defiant, and unshaken, have formed the Alliance of Sahel States, a powerful symbol that Africans can defend their own destiny. For a moment, it seemed even ECOWAS was softening, inching closer to dialogue with the Sahel. Then came the shock. ECOWAS Chairman Julius Maada Bio suddenly appeared in Burkina Faso, speaking of peace, cooperation, and unity.
It is important that we come together.
Words that placed Ouagadougou at the very center of Africa's future. But wait a minute. Something doesn't feel right. Across the continent, many didn't see diplomacy. They saw danger. Whispers spread. Is this truly the hand of friendship or the hand of betrayal? Long before this moment, PLO Lumumba had sounded the alarm.
When I listened to ECOWAS through the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying, "We are going to bomb you, we are going to invade you," I knew that they were simply engaged in what metaphorically is defined as gunboat diplomacy.
Under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ECOWAS once threatened to bomb the Sahel states. The only thing that stopped them was the alliance itself. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger standing as one.
The resolve that emanated from Burkina Faso, from Guinea-Conakry, and also from Niamey, Niger, was quite clear that we are going to defend ourselves, and it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be difficult if you choose to invade.
Across the continent, voices rise in caution. Traoré must be careful. Many fear that this visit is not just diplomacy, but a Western-backed mission. A hidden hand disguised as ECOWAS. Is the chairman here to build peace or to sow betrayal? Welcome to Win Africa, as we take you inside the untold story of ECOWAS, the Alliance of Sahel States, and the battle over who truly speaks for Africa's future.
I want to start by thanking my brother, the President, and the people of this great country for the warm welcome that we always get when we come to Burkina Faso. Today has not been an exception, and on behalf of my delegation, I want to thank the President and the people that this time round I'm here on behalf of West Africa, ECOWAS, and also myself as a person, and on behalf of Sierra Leone. I'm here the second time because we have to show solidarity with a country that is making a great effort, but yet still held back because of the security situation. We want to see what we can do to let the world know what is happening in this great country and why it is important that we come together to help the security situation. I also have discussed with my brother and the whole of other people around the world that we need to keep the family, the West African family, together. We were once together, but today, because of certain developments, we seem to be divided. But I don't see that division, and I'm working as chair of ECOWAS to see how I can bring them back. We stay together. We are brothers. We can never be divided. So my visit here is solidarity, to show solidarity, to show him and Burkina Faso that you are not in this alone, and that we will do everything possible to make sure that we will have peace again in this country, and that which is supposed to be our preoccupation as developing countries, which is development, we will embark on that fully. I take particular interest because Sierra Leone has been in this situation before. I happen to have been a military man at that time in his position, and I know it quite too well. And I was able to navigate that situation. I was able to introduce peace in Sierra Leone, and today I'm a democratically elected president of that nation. So I come to share my experience with him and the other AES countries and to appeal to them. We have a proverb in our language: if your mouth gets rotten and it's smelling, you can't throw it away. You fix the mouth and you continue with your life. So we are brothers, we are in the same region, and we cannot afford to be apart. And that is why I keep coming here, to show you that we care and that we do everything to make sure that peace returns to Burkina Faso.
This comes after numerous threats from ECOWAS warning against military takeovers.
Let no one be in doubt that if everything else fails, the valiant forces of West Africa, both the military and the civilian components, are ready to answer to the call of duty. By all means available, constitutional order will be restored in the country.
Military force has been threatened before, but the junta now ruling Niger doesn't seem to be listening. And there are cracks in the bloc itself, with only 2/3 of members in support of intervention. But some allege the coup is a threat to the region itself.
If presidential guards in Guinea and Niger, I'll use the word, take hostage their president, nobody, and let me repeat, nobody in West Africa is safe.
Today, Africans are reminding Traoré of those very words. Be careful, for betrayal often comes wearing the mask of peace. For decades, ECOWAS was praised as West Africa's backbone, the broker of peace, the voice of stability. But now, its image is cracking. And just as PLO Lumumba predicted, tensions with Tinubu's ECOWAS have only deepened. Lumumba warned early that threats of bombing and invasion would never succeed against a united Sahel. Today, those words echo louder than ever as Julius Maada Bio steps into Ouagadougou pleading for dialogue, while Tinubu stays silent. So when ECOWAS begs Traoré today, it is not diplomacy, it is desperation. For President Tinubu, silence has replaced threats. For ECOWAS, relevance is slipping. And for the Alliance of Sahel States, this may be the clearest proof, yet that Africa's future no longer bends to outsiders. Born with the dream of unity, ECOWAS once symbolized cooperation across colonial borders. But suspicion grew when Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso questioned foreign influence, especially the heavy shadow of French military presence and Western-backed policies. ECOWAS' response: sanctions, isolation, and even threats of force. Some saw protection, others saw punishment. That division hardened into a single decision: withdrawal, and the birth of a new alliance. In response, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso forged the Alliance of Sahel States, an audacious rupture with the past. More than just symbolism, the AES pledges mutual defense, coordinated security operations, and a shared political destiny.
The military coups in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali since 2020 have been a major concern for Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS. The regional bloc slapped trade, economic and political sanctions on the junta-led countries. And in January this year, the military leaders made it clear they were leaving the regional bloc, accusing it of planning an armed aggression against them. They've since formed their own alliance.
To its supporters, it is nothing less than sovereignty reclaimed. To its critics, it is a dangerous gamble, one that trades old chains for new alliances, especially as Moscow looms as the Sahel's newest partner. Let's pause for a second. If you've watched this video up to this point, or you're still tuned in, it means you truly care about the message and support Africa's growth. Please take a moment to subscribe and follow our YouTube community. It shows that you appreciate the effort behind this content and want to see more stories that matter. Let's continue. ECOWAS Chairman Julius Maada Bio arrived in Ouagadougou on what was billed as a working visit, an attempt to reopen lines of communication and chart a path back to dialogue. But within hours, it was clear this was no ordinary diplomatic courtesy. Bio spoke of brotherhood, unity, and a shared African future. He even pledged to support peace efforts in Burkina Faso. But as videos of the meeting spread online, Africans across social media reacted with caution. Comment after comment urged President Traoré to be careful, warning that ECOWAS might not be coming with pure intentions. To many, the visit looked less like diplomacy and more like a mission cloaked in suspicion. Yet Bio's visit was not the final word. Just days later, President Ibrahim Traoré welcomed the presidents of the AES parliaments to Ouagadougou for a closed-door meeting. Their agenda: strengthening the alliance of the Sahel States beyond military ties and building the political and institutional backbone.
Thank you very much. As you know, our three heads of state created the Confederation of Sahel States, the Alliance of Sahel States, as you know. And when the treaty was created, it was necessary to draft an additional treaty to establish the foundations of the AES Parliament. So we thought that the technical experts should meet here in Ouagadougou. They drafted the additional protocol, they prepared the internal regulations, and today it is the turn of the three presidents to come here to Ouagadougou to review, validate what has been done, and present it to the heads of state who will meet in order to finally adopt it. And in this way, the parliament of the AES will be born alongside the parliaments of the three countries. You know, a parliament represents the people, and our people in the Sahel have high expectations for the AES. It has been long awaited, and today we are proud, all three countries, all the people of the three countries, to belong to this AES community. This is already a land of great empires, a place where people interact every day, where people know each other. So now that we are in a confederation, we are also delighted to see the good movement, good understanding, and good cooperation among our three countries. We should also say that this helps in the fight against our enemies, namely those armed bandits who are sometimes attacking our people. It also allows our armies to fight together, to join forces in the same direction to combat these enemies.
We have come to deliver a set of documents to His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traoré. What is it about? It concerns draft texts for the establishment of the confederal sessions of the AES parliaments. You will recall that on July 6, 2024, Their Excellencies met in Niamey. Their Excellencies Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Army General Assimi Goïta, and Army General Abdourahmane Tiani decided on the establishment of the Confederation of Sahel States. Three bodies were envisioned within the framework of the treaty.
The timing was significant. It sent a message that despite ECOWAS outreach and Western interests, Traoré's priority is consolidating AES from within. By empowering parliamentary leaders, he's showing that the alliance is not just a military pact, but an emerging political project. For many Africans, this was reassurance. Traoré may welcome dialogue with ECOWAS and even Western envoys, but he is not bowing to outside pressure. His compass is fixed firmly on the Sahel Alliance, and that means betrayal is unlikely. And where was Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the region's most powerful voice? During all this, observers point to a striking silence. Some call it strategic caution. Others blame internal politics, But across Africa, that silence is being read as something else, a signal of shifting influence. PLO Lumumba once warned that under Tinubu, ECOWAS threatened to bomb the Sahel Alliance. Yet today, the same Tinubu says nothing. No visit to Ouagadougou, no clear stance on the AES. Africans are left wondering, has he reclassified them from enemies to brothers, or from family to rivals? Some wonder if his silence is a tactical pause, or proof that Abuja no longer holds the center of gravity in West Africa. The longer the silence lingers, the more suspicious it becomes. Is Tinubu recalibrating his strategy, or simply waiting for the West's next move? For now, no one knows what truly sits in his heart. But in a region where words can shape war or peace, silence may be the loudest message of all. And beneath all of this political drama, the violence on the ground has not stopped. Burkina Faso still faces relentless jihadist attacks, with reports that nearly 50 civilians have been killed since May alone.
3 jihadist attacks in northern Burkina Faso since May have killed about 50 civilians, Human Rights Watch said on Monday. In a new report, the NGO blamed the attacks on 2 groups, the Al-Qaeda-linked JNIM and the Islamic State in the Sahel province. According to Human Rights Watch, JNIM attacked the town of Djibo in May and the village of Yuba in early August, altogether killing 40 civilians. In July, IS Sahel attacked a civilian convoy bringing humanitarian aid to the besieged town of Gorom Gorom, killing at least 9 civilians. Human Rights Watch said these assaults violated international humanitarian law and were apparent war crimes. Burkina Faso has been ruled by a military junta for almost 3 years. Under the rule of Ibrahim Traoré, military leaders have vowed to eliminate violence and restore security, but deadly attacks still plague the country. Human Rights Watch informed Burkina Faso's justice and defense ministers of its recent findings on August 21st, but said it received no response. The organization urged the Burkinabe government to provide better protection for all civilians and to investigate and prosecute those responsible for violence, even within the army.
This is why the ECOWAS chairman's call for true unity and coalition struck such a nerve. Because in the end, only genuine cooperation, not foreign interference, not hidden agendas, can help the region defeat these threats. The real stakes are nothing less than security and survival. If the AES strengthens its ties with new outside partners, the balance of power in West Africa could shift dramatically. If ECOWAS manages to reform and rebuild trust, regional unity might yet be restored. But beyond the politics and the power games, it is ordinary people who will carry the weight of these decisions. The displaced families fleeing conflict, the farmers cut off from their lands, the cities living under the shadow of violence. For them, every handshake, every silence, and every alliance is not theory. It is life or death. A visit that was supposed to patch a fracture instead put the fracture on public display. Julius Maada Bio's meeting with Ibrahim Traoré was not merely diplomatic theater. It was a sign of a continent redefining its terms. For ECOWAS, the challenge is clear: adapt, reform, or risk being sidelined. For the Sahel, the message is also clear: sovereignty will not be negotiated from the outside. And just days after Bio's visit, Traoré made that point unmistakable. By meeting with the presidents of the AES parliaments, he showed that the Sahel Alliance is not only military, but political and institutional, designed to endure. It was a quiet but powerful answer to those who feared betrayal. Dialogue may happen with ECOWAS and the West, but the compass of Burkina Faso remains fixed firmly on the Sahel. History is being written in Ouagadougou, and the next chapters will decide who defines Africa's destiny. What do you think? Is ECOWAS losing relevance? Or is this a chance for renewal? Drop your thoughts below. If you want more deep dives into African politics that the mainstream misses, subscribe to Win Africa. Thanks for watching. To watch PLO Lumumba's fearless speech on why France is falling and Africa is rising. Click the video on your screen.